And we are live on the Baseball Card Flipper YouTube channel. Welcome to the show here. Today's date is March the 13th, 2024. In this live stream, I will be talking about the Atlanta Braves' victory over the Baltimore Orioles by the score of 7-5 played this evening, where they came back from a 5-run deficit to beat the Baltimore Orioles. Also, we will be looking at baseball cards I sell on eBay. I've really upped my game in selling baseball cards on eBay for the past year. I'm getting close to around 10,000 cards that I've got listed so far, and it's doing real well. I've had some good success. Actually, a couple of months ago, I sold a Gunnar Henderson 1-of-1 from the 2023 Topps Stadium Club. Sold it for $1,275. Profited just around $1,100 on that card. I actually bought it always on my cards, but this came from a hobby box that I pre-ordered from Blowout cards on the internet, and that's where I usually pre-book. I always like to pre-book my cards, not wait for it to come in the hobby stores. I pre-book them where I can get them either the day before release or on the day of release, and try to get them listed out before everybody else does, where I can have a good shot at selling, especially some of the hits that you will get from the hobby box. We'll talk more about that in a little while. Just a little bit about myself. My name's Bob. I go by Baseball Card Flipper on this YouTube channel. Originally, the YouTube channel was called Atlanta Dugout Talk. So I'm kind of combining it. I'm talking about Atlanta Braves, either news or recapping the game like I'll be doing here. To recap all the things, Atlanta Braves are in spring training. I believe it's 2 weeks from tomorrow they will actually start their regular season. Of course, the Dodgers will be playing out of the country. They'll be starting just a little bit earlier for, I think, a 2-game series, and then they'll come back to the States. But as I said, the Braves, and I believe they will be starting out with the Phillies at Philadelphia on 2 weeks from tomorrow, which will be on a Thursday. A lot of the first few games will be afternoon games. I don't think they play their first night game for, it's probably going to be in their second series. Their first 2 series are on the road. As I said, I'm an Atlanta Braves fan since 1974. I was actually in the first grade. The reason I became an Atlanta Braves fan, I'm originally lived most of my life in Athens, Alabama. But now I live in Centerton, Arkansas, enjoying it here in Centerton. Let's go Braves. Thank you, Zach, Sports Cards and Collectibles. Looking forward to the season, Zach, and I hope you are too. Like I said, I became an Atlanta Braves fan in 1974 when I was in the first grade. I've collected on and off for pretty much all my life, and enjoyed. I started selling on eBay actually just about a couple of years after they first started on eBay, and that was back before you processed credit cards on eBay. You either took cash, money order, and occasionally would do checks. Well, I'm kind of leery on checks of them bouncing. If we did take a check, we would let it clear before we sent them out. But things have progressed and doing real well. I started using Card Dealer Pro to process my cards, especially when I have a lot to list at one time. So I started using that, and it's doing well. I do like the new version of Card Dealer Pro 2.0. So if you're interested, if you're doing a lot of them, that is one that I use. I know there are other companies that probably do about the same thing. So whatever you like, or if you want to do it individually through eBay. Usually the real good cards, like the Gunnar Henderson that I was telling you about, that I made a good profit, I'd actually just take it with my phone. Did not want to scan a one-of-one card. So that was very exciting for me. Just to let you know about our eBay store, what you can do, if you want to go where right now we've got 30% off all our baseball cards if you buy 3 or more. And to get to all those cards that you can choose from, which I've got around pretty close to 10,000 cards listed, just use the QR code just right below me. Just scan that, and that'll take you right directly to it. Or you can go down in the description box, and the link will be there. That'll take you directly to where all the 30% off cards are located. Really would appreciate you doing that if you're looking for particular cards. That helps support the channel here. Now, let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about is the game tonight. It started at 6 o'clock Eastern Time, and that would be 5 o'clock my time, Central Standard Time here in Arkansas. I do want to show you the starting lineup that the Braves had. Starting at leadoff, remember Ronald Acuna Jr. is not been playing in the regular games. He's been, I think, taking batting practice, and he's also doing some simulated games to get himself ready for opening day. Michael Harris II in center field leading off. Batting second, the second baseman Ozzie Albies. Batting third, the first baseman Matt Olson. The catcher Travis d'Arnaud. The left fielder Jared Kelenic. I need to learn how to pronounce that last name. Then at shortstop, Orlando Arcia. At third base, Louis Guilherme. The designated hitter was Jordan Luplow. The right fielder, Eli White. And the starting pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, Bryce Elder. Just a little note on Austin Riley. He's been kind of had the bug for the last few days, so he has not started. So he will be back in the next day or so, is what I've been information that I found. Now let's go and look at the box score. As I said, the Atlanta Braves won 7-5. Baltimore on Elder scored 5 runs in the first inning. And then the Braves came back in the second and third inning with 3 runs, and then they finished out in the top of the ninth with 1 run. So the Atlanta Braves, 7 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors. The Baltimore Orioles, 5 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Believe it or not, Bryce Elder will get the win. After giving up 5 runs, he still gets the win. Bryce Elder is 2-1 during the spring. Right now, his ERA is not the greatest at 8.25. The loser for Baltimore was Irving. He goes to 0-1, and he also, his ERA is not that great at 6.27. 2, 3. Let's look at some of the highlights of the game. First off, in the bottom of the first for Baltimore, Heston Kurtestad singles on a line drive to right fielder Eli White. Anthony Santanger scores Jordan Westberg to second base. So that gives Baltimore 2, Atlanta nothing. Then James McCann singles on a line drive to left fielder Jordan Kellenleck. Jordan Westberg scores. Heston Kurtestad to third base. James McCann to second. Throwing error by left fielder. And the Baltimore Orioles takes a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning. Then in the top of the second, Orlando Arcia hits his second home run on a fly ball to left center field. Travis d'Arnaud scores. So now the score is Baltimore 5 and the Atlanta Braves 2. Then Jordan Lupo hits his third homer on a fly ball to left center field. Baltimore Orioles 5 and the Atlanta Braves 3. Then in the top of the third, Louis Guillerme doubles on a ground ball to left fielder Heston Kurtestad. Jared Kelenic scores. Orlando Arcia scores. So now the Atlanta Braves have taken the lead for good at the Braves 6 and Baltimore Orioles 5. Let's get to the last run here. In the top of the ninth, Cal Conley singles on a line drive to left fielder Shane Fontaine. Cody Milligan scores to give the Atlanta Braves a 7-5 lead, and that is how the game ends. The Atlanta Braves now in the spring are 9-8. The Baltimore Orioles are 15-4. So the Atlanta Braves defeat the Baltimore Orioles 7-5. And they will play again tomorrow. Now let's talk about baseball cards, which I enjoy selling baseball cards. The first thing I want to talk about, as I said earlier, I get my baseball cards to either collect or to sell on eBay. And I just the other day did a pre-book for 2024 Topps Big League Baseball Hobby Box, pre-ordered with blowout. Those are scheduled to be released on March the 27th of this year. So if you want to get your pre-book in, be sure to go over to blowoutcards.com, where you can pre-book that and have them at your door by release date. And that they are, just to let you know, if you want them. One thing about a blowout is if you pre-book $199 or more, you will get free shipping. If you don't do that, I believe it's $9.99. I believe $9.95 is the shipping if you are under the $199. And you can order more things as far as the pre-order. I would do your pre-order separate than from a regular order, because they will not be shipped at the same time. But in the Topps Big League is pretty much, they've taken the place of opening day, which they discontinued last year. So they're kind of doing the Topps Big League around when they normally would have done opening day. So be sure, if you're interested in that, and get that. before they sell out of their pre-orders that they will have. Now let's go to, like I said, I use Card Dealer Pro when I list, especially like if I do a lot of commons at one time. That is what I will do. I will use that, the really, really good cards that I don't want to maybe get a scratch or anything like that when I scan them. Normally with that, I will use my phone. So that is, like I said, remember to scan the QR code. That'll take you to a store. But I use Card Dealer Pro. If you're interested in Card Dealer Pro, I do have a link in the description below that will take you right to their site, and you can sign up. I believe they have a where you can try it out. So be sure to go there, and it'll give you more information on Card Dealer Pro 2.0. If you tried Card Dealer Pro, just their regular version that came out, this one's a whole lot better. And to me, once you learn it, it's a whole lot easier to list, and the database is a lot better than what they had originally before. So check out carddealerpro.com or check the description section of this live stream and check that out. Now, let's take a look at our eBay store. Get to the right one here. And right here, we're showing it. The name of our store is GB eStore on eBay. A good percentage of our inventory is baseball cards. Have a few basketball cards, a few football cards. Then I have some other things. My brother and I, it's our store. We kind of started the GB store a couple of years ago. Well, actually, it's probably been close to, I think we started either in 2017 or 18. And we've added a lot. What we do baseball cards, but we also go to auctions, some online auctions locally, where we go and pick it up and we'll resell. A lot of things like Amazon returns, stuff like that. We try to get it at a good price, and then where we can sell it cheaper than what you would find it on Amazon. So that is the bulk of what is on our eBay store. Then occasionally we will sell for local friends that want to try to sell their items that they need to sell, and we'll do that. But what you're looking at now is dealing basically with the baseball cards. This is the link. If you scan the QR code right below me, this is the page that you will go to. And I kind of want to just go through some of the items. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to newly listed. These are some of the cards I've just recently listed on eBay. Done pretty well. These right here are rookie cards. I sell a lot of, some of the hits. Rookie cards is a good seller. Also, like in Bowman, the Bowman draft that came out a few months ago, back in the end of 2023. Those have done well. Especially those that it's their first Bowman card. So I've still got a lot of those cards left. Be sure to use the 30% off card. Buy 3 or more and get 30% off. Give you a good deal. On the majority of my cards, it's free shipping. We use the eBay standard envelope program. So be sure to check that out. And if for some reason you don't want the eBay standard envelope program, just send me a message and we can work from there if you want to just do a regular ground advantage. But I mean, the shipping on that's going to be around $3.99 for that. So keep that in mind. But these are some of the baseball cards. This is from the 2024 Top Series 1. This is a Joe Jocks rookie card from the Boston Red Sox. We got Alec Marsh from the Kansas City Royals. Trey Cabbage from the Los Angeles Angels. A lot of time, if you'll notice I'm not really sure the reason, but on the Angels card on the back, it does not say Los Angeles Angels. It always says Angels. And I don't know why they don't put Los Angeles. I know they've changed the name a few times. That may be the reason. But if you happen to know, please leave it in the chat or in the comment section if you're watching this on the replay. Hey, I do, as you can see on the screen, Alec March. I've got a couple of his. And then we've got Cade Marlowe from the Seattle Mariners. Isaiah Campbell from the Seattle Mariners. Marco Luciano from the San Francisco Giants. We got Andrew Abbott from the Cincinnati Reds, and I sold one of those just the other day. That's Andrew Abbott of the Reds. And I also do have a couple of the Cincinnati Reds rookie. So Ellie De La Cruz, I've got right now, I believe I've got one left of his base card rookie. I believe it's got it priced at $9.99 if I'm not mistaken. We also have Chris Murphy, rookie card of the Boston Red Sox. Grant Hartwig from the New York Mets. Lucan Baker from the St. Louis Cardinals. Jose Farrell from the Washington Nationals. Then we've got Brandon Walker from the Boston Red Sox. Jacob Amaya from the Miami Marlins. Emerson Hancock from the Seattle Mariners. Jordan Balazovic from the Minnesota Twins. Then we've got Sal Frelick from the Milwaukee Brewers. Sold one of his. I believe it was a rainbow foil card that I sold of his. Then we got Dominic Canzone from the Seattle Mariners. Curtis Smead, got two of him, as you can see, from the Tampa Bay Rays. Then we've got another Luis Matos from the San Francisco Giants. Gavin Williams, I've sold a couple of his rookie cards of late from the Cleveland Guardians. Then Brendan White from the Detroit Tigers. Another Joe Jocks from the Boston Red Sox. And like I said, all of these cards are available on my eBay store, GB eStore. Just scan the QR code right below me here. That'll take you directly to the page that we're looking right now. That's 30% off when you buy 3 or more baseball cards. Be sure to use the add to cart button and not the buy it now. Now we also have Jose Soriano's rookie card from the Los Angeles Angels. Dominic Canzone, another one from the Seattle Mariners. Another Brendan White from the Detroit Tigers, and another Luis Matos from the San Francisco Giants. Then we have Jose Rodriguez from the Chicago White Sox. Tyler Soderstrom from the Oakland A's. Emerson Hancock, got another one of him from the Seattle Mariners. And Jordan Balazovic, another one from the Minnesota Twins. Davis Snyder from the Toronto Blue Jays. Daniel Palencia, rookie card from the Chicago Cubs. And Zach Remillard from the Chicago White Sox. Justin Martinez from the Arizona Diamondbacks. Got another Jose Serrano. We got Nick Robertson from the Boston Red Sox. Another Jose Rodriguez. Another Cade Marlowe. Brian Wu from the Seattle Mariners. Johan Rojas from the Philadelphia Phillies. Freelander Barrera from the Seattle Mariners. Another Brian Wu from the Seattle Mariners. Ronnie Mauricio from the New York Mets. And those are some of the 2024 Topps Series 1 rookie cards. Then we'll look just a little bit. We got a Cal Ripken Jr. Grand Gamers. These are some inserts from the 2024 Series 1. We got a Clayton Kershaw. This one is a black Grand Gamers. I have that listed at $15. A lot of the ones that are in the $3.99 and up, I do have best offer on them, so use that function if you're interested. But that Clayton Kershaw Black Grand Gamers is $15. Then we got a Garrett Cole insert. And this is the 2023 All Topps team. And those are just some of what we have listed in our eBay store. I do want to talk just a little information back to the Atlanta Braves. Let me get the one I'm looking for. Yes, here we go. David O'Brien of the Athletic, which he used to be with the AJC, but he's been with the Athletic the last few years. He has a podcast, which I believe is called 755 Forever. He interviews Brian McCann. I believe that was done earlier this evening. You can go to the YouTube channel. If you'll go to on Twitter X, he has a post, and I believe he's got a link. Just check that out, or just go to YouTube and type in 755 Forever, and you should be able to go to the link where he interviews Brian McCann. See, there was one other thing. Yes, Mark Bowman, writer for MLB.com for the Atlanta Braves. A book has come out. And let me get, okay, this is what he says. I've got it on screen there. Yes. Mark says he's pinned it. It's at the very top of his post. I'm happy to announce the franchise, a curated history of the Braves, will go on sale on June the 4th. This book looks at the Boston and Milwaukee years, but puts a heavy focus on what the Braves have become over the past 50 years. You can pre-order now on Amazon. So just when you go to Amazon, there's a link to it on his Twitter X post, or you can just go to Amazon. I've got a link to Amazon down in the description. When you get to Amazon, just search for the franchise, curated history of the Braves, or you can probably just put the franchise and then put Mark Bowman, I think, and Chipper Jones has a forward in the book as well. So check that out. The franchise, Atlanta Braves, a curated history of the Braves. So be sure to check that out if you're a Braves fan and are interested in Braves history. So be sure to check that out. Okay, we've looked at the game that was played this evening against the Baltimore Orioles. The Atlanta Braves won 7-5. We've looked at selling on eBay. Another thing, I kind of go a little bit more in detail what it was like. Maybe we can talk about this later in another show. But what it was like selling on eBay. You know, I wasn't doing a lot of baseball cards then on eBay, but where I worked, we sold a lot of odds and end things that we had in the store. Actually, the owner owned 2 stores, and we started selling on eBay, more of a hardware store, and then I had a more of a workwear store. But we would sell on eBay, and a lot of how we did it back then was a lot more difficult than what it is now. A lot of time we used, basically we had a scanner, and we had a camera. You didn't have iPhones then. You know, we a lot of times I would take a picture, get the film developed, and then scan a picture on the scanner. The scanners then are not what they are now. So the one problem that we had was after you scanned it, the file size was gigantic, and trying to upload that to eBay just on the basically landline in doing that. And what we did was we just basically used our phone lined up, and like somebody called. When they called, then that would stop the scan. You'd have to do it all over again. You couldn't do what we do now. We surely couldn't do it back then. And that was the frustration, because the file size were so big back then. But we did a lot of things. We sold knives, different bulk stuff that you would find at a old-fashioned hardware store. So that's what we did, and it was fun. Starting off a lot, and sometimes you didn't have much of a picture. You can't have like 5 or 6 of the images. It would take you forever. But that was, I started back then, and a lot of times they, did the order, but they would send. We would want money orders. Sometimes they'd send cash. People nowadays surely are not going to do that, but it was either cash, checks, or money order. And that's the start of eBay. It was all auctions then. That's what eBay was auctions. It's not like a buy it now. And later on, we would start where we would start taking credit cards and process them at the store, and started sending that. And as the years went by, it got a whole lot better. eBay's a lot better. If you had a lot of kids doing it now had to go through what a lot of us had to go through. they'd probably stop, and it's a lot safer now. That's one thing. And then when we started doing a website, when we first started out, as far as security, dealing with credit cards and stuff, you had to really be careful on that, because you didn't have like we have now. But and then we closed that store down, and our family moved to Centerton, Arkansas. My brother, and my dad, and my mom moved here, and one of my brothers normally lived here in Arkansas good many years with his family. So my mom was dealing with Alzheimer's and different other things, and wanted my mom and dad to be able to spend time with grandchildren and all. Especially wanted her to do that before she got really worse, and eventually she did, and she passed away a couple of years ago. But we're here in Arkansas. Me and my brother run the GBE store. We also do other things like sell on, as far as dealing with Walmart. He does grocery deliveries through the Spark app. That's done fairly well for us. So we have kind of a few different side hustles in what we do. But that's kind of course, I collected baseball cards when I was like I said, I was a Braves fan starting in first grade in 1974. And it's not like it is now. I mean, we didn't have going. Of course, there wasn't eBay back in 1974. You couldn't go and whatever cards you were looking for and just buy them like that. We basically was go to the gas station. It's where, when I first started, that's about the only place at least in the town we lived in, just to buy a pack of baseball cards. At the old stale bubble gum inside the baseball cards. And then later on, we were able to, I think Kmart had the blister packs. This was after I had graduated high school. They had blister packs, and I think it was either 87 or 88 was the year, Donruss. And I learned you could see the first card, and they had like, I think, 4 or 5 packs in the blister pack, and you could see the top card. And then that year was Mark Grace's rated rookie card. So that was one of the top cards that year. And you kind of, I'd go and buy, and sometimes his would be on the top. So we bought that, and then we kind of see what some of the other cards that might come up on top. If we saw that, we pretty much had a good idea that maybe his card would be in that blister pack. But and then I know when I first started, I think it was basically Topps that we had. There wasn't all these companies that we have. I know that was, I think Fleer started, I believe, in 1981. And I think Upper Deck maybe in 82, somewhere around there. That time we had so many different companies. But now, since pretty much Topps is it's kind of going back to like it was. If we can just get where it's not produced a lot, where the value will hold on, And I think Fanatics, which owns Topps, I think they're doing a decent job. You've got to have cards, sets that the kids just starting out that they can afford to buy. And then as we get older, have more money, there's different, as far as price tag, different sections on them. So that I think, at least so far, it's doing pretty well. I know I've had some good luck in selling. I sell a lot of the low dollar cards, even those in the late 80s and 90s, which there's a ton out there, but there are people looking to finish collecting a certain set, and you can use that time in, that's one thing with Card Dealer Pro 2.0. You can list a lot of cards in a short amount of time, and using that, and you're not gonna get rich. You'll make, sometimes you might just make 15, 20 cents a card. But if you can sell a lot of them, you can make it in volume. So that's kind of in this first baseball card flipper live show in a while, where we're talking about the Atlanta Braves and selling baseball cards on eBay and using Card Dealer Pro 2.0. Hope to do this more. I'm hoping to maybe do some play-by-play of the Braves when they started the season. Might do a little spring training where I kind of watch. I can't show the feed, but I can do a little bit play-by-play, and we can talk about the Atlanta Braves. Let me know what you enjoy more, talking about the Atlanta Braves, or you like baseball cards, or if you like a combination of all these things. Talk about if you sell on eBay, what type of cards do you sell? Do you sell the low end, or do you like maybe get to the $10 and up cards, or do you really like just dealing with inserts? Do you like more vintage cards? Let me know what you collect, or if you're a seller, what does well for you in selling on eBay, or you may sell on Instagram or on Twitter or whatever. Let me know how you do it. And a lot of my sourcing, as I said, I use blowout cards, but I go to card shows and looking for deals in the value boxes. And I've had some good luck in doing that. So I hope you've enjoyed this first edition of Baseball Card Flipper Live, where we talk about the Atlanta Braves and selling baseball cards or collecting baseball cards through eBay if you're listing using Card Dealer Pro. Be sure to check the description. I got a lot of links. If you click on one of those links, they are affiliate links, either with Amazon or eBay. I will make a small commission, and that will help the YouTube channel Baseball Card Flipper. Originally, the channel was Atlanta Dugout Talk. If there are any subjects you'd like to discuss, put them in the chat, put them in the comments, and we will take a look at it. Be sure, remember, scan the QR code right below me, take you right directly to all the 30% off cards when you buy 3 or more. We'll have a listing there. And at the checkout, make sure you add the card and not hit buy it now. That'll help you out and help me out, and the discount will be applied at checkout. And let me go back to let me see if I've got that listed here. Just 1 second. Yes. Let me share that. Okay, right where it says extra 30% off 3 or more items. If the code doesn't automatically appear, It is GB Cards DEC 2023. I had this code originally back toward the end of last year, and I've just extended the time, but it's the same code. So be sure to use the code GB Cards DEC 2023 is the coupon code. So be sure to use that and share it out with your baseball collecting friends. So with that said, we'll do more of these lives. I don't know exactly when, but I will schedule the live stream. So be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit like. Hit the bell notification. I know a lot of times you don't get notified, even though you do that. But check back from time to time. If you want to know if I'm live, just go to that, or in the search bar, just hit Baseball Card Flipper, and that will take you to our YouTube channel. Really appreciate you stopping by and checking us out. Hope to do more. Let everybody know if they're an Atlanta Braves fan. Let them know about the channel. We're going to be talking more about Atlanta Braves, what's fixing to start a new season in 2024. Until next time, have a great rest of your evening and have a good day tomorrow, Thursday. And that will be March the 14th, 2024. Until next time, have a good evening.